Abused kids often feel safer on the street than they do at home.
What do you think when you look at that?
Yeah, that's powerful.
I think in today's world you have to do something to get people attention. It got my attention, yes.
I'm a sentimental person, definitely. So anything, if you put kids or, I don't know, animals in it, I'll definitely stop and look at it.
Well, it's an ad that's supposed to get you thinking. A baby out on a sidewalk with the caption, "How young do they need to be before we give a damn?" Well, the campaign is meant to shine a light on youth homelessness, and the startling photo is an opportunity to think differently about young people on our streets. The group behind this poster, as well as corresponding TV and radio ads, is Covenant House. They rely on the generosity of donations in order to offer shelter services, as well as training and education support for young people. They say the holiday season is an especially difficult one for the youth they serve, and with so many groups vying for donations at this time of year, they're hoping their campaign will stand out.
We need to touch people's heads, and we need to touch people's hearts, and our campaign is meant to be somewhat disruptive in that regard, because I think a lot of folks have an image of who a homeless youth is, and part of what we're saying to folks is, you know, how young do you have to be before people actually care? All right, and with that, I think it provokes a conversation, because a lot of us just walk past homeless people and we forget that that could be you, it could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be your child.
Now, coming up, we take a look at the stats that reveal the face of Toronto's homeless youth and the challenges they deal with coming of age on our streets.
Abused kids often feel safer on the street than they do at home.
What do you think when you look at that?
Yeah, that's powerful.
I think in today's world you have to do something to get people attention. It got my attention, yes.
I'm a sentimental person, definitely. So anything, if you put kids or, I don't know, animals in it, I'll definitely stop and look at it.
Well, it's an ad that's supposed to get you thinking. The image of a baby on a sidewalk and the caption, "How young do they need to be before we give a damn?" Well, that campaign is meant to shine a light on youth homelessness, and the startling image is an opportunity for people to think differently about just who the young homeless people on our streets are.
I think a lot of folks have an image of kids being out there looking for a good time, shirking responsibility, and it's anything but that. The biggest common denominator that drives kids to the street is dysfunctional family, and that could happen to anybody. You know, half of the kids that we see here at Covenant House are coming from middle income, so it's not necessarily about poverty, although poverty is certainly a trajectory once a kid's on the street. The other predominant factor is gender identity, gender and sexual orientation identity. In that regard, you know, upwards of 1/3 of the young people that come through the doors self-identify as LGBTQ and have been rejected either by family or by their community because of that.
Covenant House, the group behind the subway posters as well as corresponding TV and radio ads, say one of the biggest challenges for them is getting youth stabilized as they enter adulthood. The organization offers temporary shelter, educational support, employment opportunities, housing assistance, and even help with life skills like cooking and laundry. Now, 80% of their money comes from donors, and with so many vying for donations during the holiday season, they're hoping their campaign can stand out. Now, here in Toronto, 20% of our homeless are young people between the ages of 16 and 24. And across Canada, on any given night, 7,000 youth are without a permanent place to sleep.